I am back, Aries, and it's February 2022. I hope you're ready for the news. It's big news, even though it's a short month. February 2022, that is, and I'm from astrology.com.au. For those of you that are new, welcome. I'm Dadhichi, and I'd like to take a quick snapshot, what I call the Oracle Express, of what's going on. And in particular, straight off the bat on the 1st of February, we have that new moon in your 11th house. 11th house is all about friendships, your networks, the profitability from your business. And because the new moon is taking place very close to Saturn, the responsible one, then it's likely you'll be, in that way yourself, a lot more responsible about the way you're approaching friendships, not quite so impulsive to accept everything that's said, anywhere that anyone wants to go. And by the 5th, we see the sun moving into that conjunction as well. Now, the Sun-Saturn combination is a classic astrological principle which gives a separative sort of effect, a pulling back, a shutting down even sometimes, but particularly with older people, with authoritarian figures, that type of thing. So that 11th house is strongly focused, especially in the very first week of February. Then what we see there is the retrograde movement of Mercury, which is right smack bang on Pluto in your 10th house. So very intense communications, a re-evaluation process, as we know, that usually takes place when there's that retrogression of a planet. In your case, Mercury does rule your 6th house, which is the day-to-day activities of your work, the way and the manner in which you execute your professional duties, and the nature of your service. 6th house is also to do with your health. So there may be a tie-in, and when Pluto's involved in that, it's an eliminative process. The only way you're going to get through the problems that you've got in your professional arena, with your co-workers, with your money as well, because 6th house is your debts, and the money that you owe people, pardon me, is to eliminate something. You've got to get rid of something in your life at this point in time. Otherwise, you're going to be straddled with a whole lot of obstructive energies, obstructive, manipulative people, and a not so good feeling within yourself. So that's the retrogression of Mercury. I'm looking at the list here. Mercury is conjunct with Pluto on the 12th of February. So we see this first week had to do more with your friendships. Second week is moving you into that career territory, and that's because the Mercury does go back into its forward motion as it moves across Pluto, then it moves back into your 11th house. That gives you a much, much better feeling with your friendships, which that new moon shows is likely to bring new acquaintances into the picture, people that you can do business with, because there's that correlation between the retrograde Mercury, the 11th house. And the other important factor that I left off here, I mentioned it last month, was that dynamic forward movement of Venus on the 29th of January. So that's still early days, because when a planet's moving retrograde, then it has to slow down, it apparently stops, then it starts to move back into its direct motion. So that is also strongly connected to Mars, very near Mars. It's past the conjunction of Mars, which is your ruling planet, and Mars now is exalted, having directional strength in that career area. So notwithstanding all those other little bits and pieces that are going on in the zodiac, that Mars energy is powerful to give you some solid results, taking the initiative. Don't be afraid to dominate the professional landscape right now, because that is going to work in your favor. The full moon on the 17th, I've got here, takes place in your 5th house, the creative area, creative enterprise necessary, love affairs, and that's an area that's also speculative. So we see that this collaborative planet, Venus rules your 7th house of relationships, is in the 10th house, and then the full moon on the 17th, moving through that 5th house, one of the better houses of your horoscope, and the sun, of course, is opposite that during this full moon phase. The ruler of your 4th house moon has to do with properties, has to do with other investments, and we're seeing the markets in a tailspin now. They're like lemmings all jumping off the cliff. All the investors are bailing out now, and this could very well be a great time for you to take advantage of the market and buy in. If you're speculatively inclined, if I could put it that way, if you're inclined to taking a punt, that's not a bad idea. The sun moves to the 12th house of your horoscope, that's Pisces, on the 19th, and that of course is a low-key period for you, a time when you may need to just shut out the world, take a little bit of time out, pull back, and again reappraise things, but not in terms of those intellectual, career, social areas that we mentioned in the earlier part of your reading, but this is more to do with your own self and what it is you're going to do to empower yourself through self-reflection, through those 12th house activities which are going to dominate. And of course Jupiter is transiting through this area, and the sun, this is for next month's reading, is going to slowly make its way to that conjunction with Jupiter, which is a very, very powerful combination in the zone of charitable work, spiritual self-discovery, and self-empowerment of a subtle nature, spiritual nature. So stay tuned for that. While I've got you there, don't forget, tell your friends, subscribe, drop me a note. I always love to hear from you. And do make your way over to astrology.com.au. We've got a new look homepage. We've got a whole lot of new stuff going on there. Free reports, free psychic readings. You can test your own psychic abilities. And loads and loads of daily, weekly, monthly readings and yearly readings that I've got up as well to help you contextualize where your life is going at this time and how you can indeed empower yourself and re-engineer your destiny. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next month. Take care now. Bye-bye.